Good evening, everyone. My name is Charles Easterly. My colleagues and I tonight represent the Dallas Area Rapid Transit System, or DART. And I want to talk to you a little bit about why we at DART are here tonight. Our mission statement is we want to build, establish, and operate a safe, efficient, and effective transportation system that, within the DART service area, and this is the important part, provides mobility, improves the quality of life, and stimulates economic development. And to just underline one of those even further, provides mobility. That is what we are all about at DART, moving you forward, whether it's the physical wheels on the ground or what we want to talk about tonight. And as a transition here, I want to talk about why I'm here even in this classroom. So a couple years ago, I was on my way on track to moving from high school straight into college, get my degree, get a job, get a career, and move forward from that. But as many of you might have had in your life, I had a phone call that changed everything. Long story short, I no longer had the support I had all my life. I didn't have a job for some time period. I didn't have a home, and I didn't have any sort of means of income or moving myself forward. Now, I'm not alone in this. Even tonight, we've heard several examples of different disadvantaged areas in the Dallas Metroplex that we'll touch on as well. And according to the Brookings Institution, this problem we're talking about is about income mobility, which the Brookings Institution report we've read defines as the ability for a generation to meet or exceed the income level of their previous generation. Now, I happen to be a lucky one. I found myself in a community where I was able to find support and find the education I need to have the skills I could to find a job, to excel in my career, and even find myself in this classroom, finally back in school, investing in myself. And we want to talk about how we want to pay that forward tonight. So we're going to go over some of the background of our problem. We're going to go over our specific plan and the details of how we want to partner with you in the Dallas Chamber to actually implement this. So I'm going to hand it off to my colleague Amber to tell you more about our background.
Hello, again, I am Amber Harrison, and we as representatives of DART have decided to focus our efforts in improving the lives of students in the South Boulevard Park Road area, or Park Road. We chose this area specifically because it is overwhelmed with increasingly high crime rates. As a picture of the high school shows in the background, Park Road has an average of 116% higher than the national average of crime rates in this area. It is also only safer than 7% of Texas overall. The graduation rate for James Madison High School is at 90%, even with the distractions that they encounter in this environment. And that surpasses the graduation rate of Dallas overall, which is at 88%. We want to give these students the tools they need to get employment and increase their chances for a better future for themselves. The students of Park Road are faced with many challenges just by living in this area. We can see that through the unemployment rate, which for this area is at 8.5%, which is over twice the amount as Dallas at 8.8%. We can also see it through the income per household, which Park Road earns an average of $27,000 a year versus Dallas, which is almost $45,000 a year per household. Those who remain in areas such as Park Road will be subject to poverty, stagnant income, and a lack of employment opportunities. And according to a Brookings article, intervention is a great factor in decreasing these odds. The article said that once intervention was implemented, the odds of people remaining in low-income neighborhoods decreased from 34% to 24%. We would like to propose a pilot program focused on income mobility for the students of James Madison High School. And we would like to offer workshops to the junior and senior class of this high school in order to build fundamental skills such as how to write a resume and money management, skills that can be applied outside of in their regular lives and within the workplace. These workshops will eventually lead to internships, 20 of them within the DART system, that for eligible seniors who can apply could potentially lead to full-time employment within the DART system. And next, we'll pass it over to Kyle.
Awesome. All right, thank you, Amber. All right, as Amber just touched on, the highlight of our program is ultimately the 20 internships that we'll grant at the end of the semester for these students. So kind of get these students psyched for our internship program. These are actually some of the offerings that we'll offer. We really want to stress that, I mean, DART's known as a transportation service, but we'll offer, you know, a range of different employment opportunities for these students. I mean, such different internships as a Dallas police officer apprentice, a smart bus operator, a junior buyer. Really kind of get them psyched to be a part of our program. All right, so kind of a look at the overall plan that we mentioned too. It's a 9-month program. Each month we'll have a workshop geared towards helping these students to become more professionally developed. We'll focus on resume writing, communication skills, job search skills, anything that'll give them a chance to be employed upon graduation. We'll also hold a job fair where DART employees actually come on campus to James Madison High School and engage with the students, where the students can interact with the DART professionals, ask questions, and kind of see what kind of field that they're interested in going to get them psyched for the internship program in summer 2017. All right, and so some of the criteria for them to apply for our DART internship program: they have to attend 5 of the 9 workshops that we offer each month. So we'll have a roll list where we check off and keep track of who's attending and who's actively engaged. They'll also be asked to obtain 2 letters of recommendation, one academically related and one outside of school, so a parent or relative can offer one. They also have to be academically in good standing, so they have to have a GPA of 3.0 and above. And also no disciplinary trouble from the junior or senior year. And so this is kind of a visual of what our timeline will look like. Anything in the black is our 1-month workshop. So there's 9 ones. So we start off with an information session to kind of give an overall briefing of what our program will entitle. We'll have different, communication skills, resume writing, interviewing skills, anything to basically lead up to the final ultimatum of landing the internship with DART. And it's also important to stress that juniors and seniors can participate in the 9-month program. So the juniors are actually reaping in the benefits that the seniors, also get offered. But anything in the gold is ultimately geared towards the seniors, like the career fair, anything to get them employed upon graduation. And some of the ways that we'll measure the success of our program, we'll look at the attendance. Like I said, we'll have a roll sheet to see who's actively engaged, who's attending the different sessions that we have to offer. And then we can actually look at the change, as Amber had mentioned, is 8.5% unemployment rate in the Park Row area, as compared to the 3.5 at the Dallas area, or Dallas average. So that's 2.5, almost 2.5 times the rate. So we can look and see if we have an impact on that level. We'll also offer feedback surveys to the students to participate to see how we can make changes, make it more interactive or fun for the students. And then more creatively, we also want to track these students upon graduation, 6 months from graduation, see who's employed, who obtains a job. And then 5 years down the line, we want to look at their median income and see if they're surpassing that $22,000 average in the area. That's also half of the Dallas average. So if we can look at those and find some success, then we're doing our job.
Okay, hi, my name is Mark Grace, and I'm going to be going over the staffing budget for this proposal. The staffing requirements begin with 2 full-time DART employees who will attend each one of these sessions, and they're going to serve as facilitators. Each one of these sessions is going to have a guest speaker who is going to motivate these students on each topic that's provided. And at each one of these sessions, there are going to be 5 facilitators, and they're going to give individualized, hands-on assistance to these students. And examples of that would be technology, using the computer for job search or writing a resume. The budget part of this is 3 parts. $9,720 is going to be for all of the workshops. And this is going to include facility rental, tables, workshop material, guest speaker, the facilitators. And then the Second part of this is going to be the career fair. So we're going to have a career fair during this period, and that's going to be $3,730. And that's going to be a 5-hour session. And once again, the money's going to go to the facility and tables, but part of that budget is going to go to advertising and putting up signs to advertise this career fair. And finally, the last part of this is the interview day. That's $2,050, and that's going to cover the facility, the 2 DART facilitators, and the hiring managers who will come in from DART to interview these students. So, what we're asking from the Dallas Chamber of Commerce is just $7,750, and that breaks out to $52 per student. And that is an investment that's well worth doing to move these children out of their current situation and into income. And I'm going to turn this over to Charles.
Thank you. So it's significant. I see some of you leafing through the pamphlet we gave out to you. And it's significant that you, especially you representing the Dallas Chamber, hold this pamphlet today, because this is the exact same brochure we're giving to these students. And our goal is to invest in these students so they can be the ones sitting here judging these presentations one day with the Dallas Chamber. As our friend Lauren from the Texans Credit Union said so beautifully earlier, together we can lead the Dallas region to become the most economically prosperous region and the most desirable place to live, work, and do business in the United States, straight from your mission statement. And the key way we can make sure we're the best place to live, work, and do business is invest heavily in our next generation to make sure we're handing off the reins for a prosperous Dallas. We can move the entire area forward. And at this point, Kyle, if you can handle that, we will move forward ourselves with some questions. Yes?
How does this tie in? I mean, they're graduating from high school straight into a job, so there's no college in there. There's not going to be.
You want to handle that?
Yeah, we're targeting students that aren't planning on going to college. We don't want them to, keep leading the same life as the people around them. We want them to move up.
We've targeted specifically an area that, although it has a great graduation rate, a big percentage of these students aren't necessarily going to college straight out of school. Yes?
Since you bring that up, I guess I'm trying to understand why would you pick a high school that has such a high graduation rate? Because I feel like the best program for a school like that would be like a college-ready type of program. Like, I'm just trying to understand, like, why wouldn't the DART want to do this in a place that doesn't really have that high graduation rate to try to get people to graduate and provide them that kind of internship opportunity?
The reason why we're targeting this area specifically is because what the Census Bureau and other statistics have learned about this area, that a lot of these students, for whatever reason, aren't finding their way to college. And if there's some reason, some extenuating circumstance leading them not to have that as an option, we want to provide plenty of opportunities so they can build a career, build their income, without necessarily going straight from high school to that next step.
Right, so they graduate high school, but they, I guess, just don't go to college?
Many of these students don't.
In this area, but this is also a pilot program, and if it's successful here, it can be moved to high schools.